Guys, sin is sin, and it needs to stop immediately once you realize it's sin. Sin means missing the mark, not doing right, not honoring your gift of life, not being worthy of the beautiful, precious gift of the life sacrifice on this planet, right? They have a commercial in El Paso of a school to teach kids to make money and compete over money, and the kids are scared because people will get violent and come in and kill people in these training centers, right? And the safety of our students is our first priority, right? But why the fuck aren't you living the Lord's Prayer? You're supposed to train investigative reporters. You're supposed to train scientists. You're supposed to train healers. You're supposed to teach all these people to be their optimal, to be the best person they can be, to have the best minds in the history of the world, right? You have the Messiah on house arrest through military perverts that you're afraid to tell the truth about to their face. And I'm not. And you guys are reading books, and you learned how to read books by the stories about my life. Okay, the very last book of the Bible. Right? And you act like I don't exist. And you're supposed to keep children safe. It's your number one priority. The safety of our students is our number one priority. How many children, ni la mía no quiero saber, are murdered on campuses of instruction, of indoctrination, incarceration, and institutionalization daily? And most of you, your relatives, learned how to reading that last book of the Bible, saying, "When, Lord, when will you show us your glory? When will blessed be the nations whose God is Lord and Lord is God?" You couldn't comprehend it. Jesus never once in the Bible, it says over and over again, you're saying you're Caesar, you're saying you're God, you're saying you're Nebuchadnezzar, you're saying you're Pharaoh. No, I never said that. You say I say that. I'm saying I'm the eternal spirit of Father Adam, the man that gave us faith in omniscient, omnipotent God. And none of you bastards are God and can refer to God as a first person or a possessor pronoun. And you are educating. And you're supposed to have investigative reporters to give people justice with the truth. And you're not giving them the Lord's Prayer. You're not delivering them from the evil of mass murderers that give you lots of money to put satellites up in the sky to kill. That's all they're for, is to hunt down and kill people. That's all they use them for at Fort Bliss and White Sands, is to hunt down and kill people they've trained into money-making, raping animals in Mexico. And it's thousands of years of brain activity, and the BBC says it likely may never change. Right? BBC 1, BBC 2, BBC 3, right? So don't feel sorry for any of these assholes, especially Stan Rounds and the public schools of Las Cruces. Susanna Martinez, the Koch brothers, Todd Garrison, don't feel sorry for his ass. He should know who I am. He's my brother-in-law's best fucking friend. But he treats Steven Seagal better than he treats me. And everybody knows what an asshole Steven Seagal is. He doesn't know what a measure of a man is. You take him loose in the North Pole, turn him loose in his underwear and his toothbrush, and he'll come back in a week wearing a polar bear skin. With Elon Musk and Jean-Claude Van Cyborg. Yeah. The real American hero, G.I. Joe, is there. Ariel! Ookla! Ride! That's what you guys are trained by. The television. And you sit there and have the audacity to sit and knowing damn well you should know. Why are you educating children? Why are you the team you know, the team that you trust, where news comes first? If you're not telling everybody, Earl's the Messiah, he's proved it beyond any reasonable doubts. It's obvious that the book of Revelation is about him. And we should live the truth of his existence and not the lie of ours. Ariel! Ookla! Ride! Where's my famous sun sword? My fabulous, it's a fabulous sun sword. It's more fabulous than any of the props. And they're not always real props. Sometimes, they're like the ones that Leonard and Sheldon have hanging in their apartment. That's not an apartment, but it's the studio that's meant to be in Pasadena, but it's probably not in Pasadena. It's probably like in Burbank or someplace like that. Or I don't know. but it's meant to be in Pasadena and Altadena. Pasadena, tell me happy Pasadena. Why, oh, why did she have to leave and go away? Because she was murdered because she stood up for the Messiah. And they laughed in his face in a grocery store, said, we can't get him, we can program people like we're programming a video game. And you guys, man, Jimmy Carter dies and you take his rotten little fucking putrid lying fucking Simpson's body and parade it around the East Coast as if he's some kind of a decent person, as if he's your best friend from an insurance company, and getting justice from all the personal injury lawyers and that are certified to do personal injury in New Mexico and Texas in the Valley of the Rio Grande, right? Don't feel sorry for that asshole on TV. Don't feel sorry for Oscar Leeser. Oscar Leeser's an asshole. Charlie Clark is an asshole. Charlie Clark's grandma was dumb as fuck, just like Charlie Clark. Okay? Guys, forgive debt and trespass, love one on the turf of peace. I'd be willing to bet that that lady was raised Catholic. How hard is that to apply in physics or doing math? That's the number 2. Here's the Jew and me, la 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 la, Zorro's back. 2 bids, 4 bids, 6 bids a peso. All for Zorro. Stand up and say so. Where's my Brenda Vaccaro? What's going on here? No, I don't want Brenda Vaccaro. She gets all weird on Midnight Cowboy and scratches the guy up and it's like, do you have asthma? Maybe she has asthma. Maybe she does. My little la-la. Yeah. I know y'all have brain damage and you've had brain damage for tens of thousands of years. And I, in spirit, have been trying to talk you out of your brain damage for tens of thousands of years. But this is radically different than Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John's times. Saladin and Herschel Steinschneider's time. Okay, none of them had the Patriot Act and quantum computing to get technology to clean up your mess with his truth. One man. I'm going to do it one more time, okay? Ariel! Ookla! Ride! The real American numbskulls. G.I. Jane and Jim are there. Which one is it, Jim or Jane? Don't ask, don't tell. Hey, Clinton! Watch out, Linda be tripping. Monica be getting them knee pads. You are such an asshole, aren't you? Your wife is a total bitch. Hey, Hillary! What were you hoping was going to happen in the boat right bedroom? Same thing. Me, I was just petrified. I'm stupefied. I just laid there like, okay, what do I do? This is what's happening. Because I knew, they told me, we have the Patriot Act, we have, your house is under surveillance, and this was happening. And I'm like, where's Obama? Why isn't he helping me? I'm trying to stop him from getting assassinated, and he's watching this happen, and my wife's a bitch. What does that make your wife, Barack? A lawyer? Don't trust your lives to no backwoods Chicago lawyer. Mm-hmm. Okay. The hog butcher of the world, right? It's cold as hell when that lake freezes over. I bet you it's almost as cold in Chicago as it is in Cleveland, right? Cleveland! In the house. Plastic tires, heart disease in the house, Lots of disgusting industrial waste and heart disease for the poor people to be mass murdered for the medical industries in Ohio and Michigan. Lots of industry. The steel city of Canada, Hamilton. The steel city of Pennsylvania. Lots of industrial waste and mass murder to maintain the surplus population, like Motor City. Can't forget their Motor City. You're sitting there watching it on old Martha Reeves and the Vandellas videos. You see those men spraying paint with and the women running around like, it's like, whoa. I was gonna live the Lord's Prayer and share Psalms and Proverbs globally, but I didn't, and I know why. Because I got high. Is Alanis Morissette really God? If she speaks, will it be like Black Bolt and destroy all our eardrums? Or is that Black Canary? I don't know. You guys and your superpowers, you're just fucking crazy. Oh my gosh, you're fucking crazy. Superpowers? Seriously? Let's defy all logic and reason of the gift of sacrifice, of the life of sacrifice given to us by the glory of grace to try to be eternal sinners that never hit the mark a day in our wretched fucking lives. And then go to some convention center and collect all the artwork of all our insanity. Can I have that Hank Aaron baseball card? Thanks. Anybody else want to pickle the beast with me? Thanks for your prayers, Michael Batar. I was like you, you know. I know how hard it was. Okay. I've had lots of people tell me how hard it was being a young kid, being taken advantage of by those groomers in Hollywood. Okay. You're a real strong man. I understand about the PTSD with the violence. At first I was really upset. I was, what's all this macho bullshit? And then I went, okay, no, my first wife would do it all the time. More than the second wife. My second wife learned to use sex to manipulate people. My first wife didn't. She could have. Oh, yeah. Okay, but she just couldn't get past her sexual abuse, especially with us guys. With women, the woman that sexually took advantage of her made it a pleasurable experience because she was a woman and she knew what to do. She groomed her perfectly to accept that as sexual gratification. But we can't have children and have sex anymore if you keep doing that. I know. That's why they call it a sin in the Bible. It's missing the mark. Oh, no more life of sacrifice. There you go. Hey, look, that's a priest. That's a nun. That's a monk. Because they were sitting there talking to me about this stuff. I'm literally, you know, in my body, I don't have anything to say, oh, I did this to me. Oh, you know, we're toughing it out to connect to people to get them through hell in institutions that are called higher learning that I've connected to. None of them are a part of the money-making engine that did any kind of hand signs in my face. It's all mostly Division II schools and teams that don't have... How many teams do I have that don't have a football program? Probably just Cal State Los Angeles. The largest Hispanic serving institution in the entire United States. Yeah. For people to try to survive Los Angeles' pollution death trap. Yeah. Cal State, LA, Golden Eagles. Yay. I thought they used to be the Vampires. I'm not sure. But Jalen went there to try to help his mom get in better housing and pay his bills and play some professional basketball overseas and stuff. Jalen Penny, yeah. A tender-hearted kid, okay. Who likes sex with women. Oh, get out of here. Hear that? You're a bad kid. You want to have sex with women. And when everything's confusing, you want to have sex with lots of women to make all the noise go away. And I understand that because I was the same way. When I was young, okay, and Rocky dogged me and Law dogged me. And it's like, okay, I'm breaking up. I'm having sex with a Korean girl. I'm having sex with a Japanese girl, a Chinese girl. I'm having sex with Native American girls. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to break every heart I can. I'm going to scourge on women. I'm not going to be Merle Haggard. I'm going to be Randy Andrews, you know. I ain't about having a relationship, okay? I will bring my own birth control, okay? And I'll do as much as I can for you. It's not going to be as fun as if you were going to be my wife because everybody knows sex is not nearly as much fun when you have to do the whole changing prophylactics and not get all the, you know, and just it's better when you can just keep going and not worry about her getting pregnant because you won't mind making her breakfast every day and doing the dishes and, you know, but not every day. I mean, come on, 50-50 love. Get some Teddy Pendergrass in here. Not for music for sale, but for, hey, this could really happen in reality when we're living the Lord's Prayer and sustaining it with the faith of Psalms and the wisdom of Proverbs there. Still waters run deep, right? More love, more joy till nature time could ever Detroit! Don't forget the Motor City and all the brain chemical problems. From large, territorial, tribal, secular, insular, violent sex cult groups piled on top of each other with toxic poisoning and then trying to hide from it all with alcohol, cigarettes, and drugs. Okay, you guys are the most dysfunctional group of people in the history of the world. And when they monitor me, I live like a monk. Okay, a real monk, not a priest who's gonna not want to have kids because half those guys have no personality. They're selfish, fearful, cowardly, manipulative, and they lie. Okay, why would they want to sexually reproduce or be sexually reproduced? Okay, most nuns are not the girls that all the guys are fighting to have sex with. And a lot of them are not very nice. Have you ever talked to a lot of nuns? They're not very nice people. They're condescending, abusive, and abrasive and think they're going to heaven in their head because they're so much better than you. No, most nuns are real fucking assholes. Just ask George Carlin and his knuckles. Hey, knuckles. No. Most nuns, that's, in ancient times it was to get away from abuse, from men that would abuse you. And then I hope someday there would be like men like Earl and Jesus to save us from all the assholes at the Paris summits and at the house parties on Monster-in-Law, right? Okay. So, and they're all huge fans of the dog. And so, it's the mind on their money and their money on their mind. They're complete fucking assholes. You have to recant, repent, and sin this sin no more. Despise the sin, but always love the sinner, because life is eternal and grace is infinite. When do you forgive them? 7 times upon infinity. So put up a peace sign and please sign. Boom, 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 boom. I profess now and just because the words I manifest, they will take you, sedate you. Okay? He thinks like a Muslim. Well, he was raised. It's hard. The Quran was corrupted. It took 30 years to close it when they were supposed to recite it and memorize it and live it every day. Or what they perceived as that. That's not what he said. He said you don't have to memorize and do everything verbatim. You just have to have the heart of David, the Psalms, and the wisdom of Proverbs to sustain the perfect commands of Jesus, never to be idolaters and invent and try to worship your own invention like philosophers in Greece and Rome ever again. And what happened? Yes, ask the Saudi royal family. I don't know, most of his wives are all huge fans of the dog. With their mind on their money and their money on their mind. Oh, fuck, we're fucked again. Yes, we are. Oh, namaste. Don't eat the cow. Don't eat the cow. If you need to eat the cow, eat the cow. The cow is not God. God's omniscient, omnipotent. Would you let your self-righteousness starve your children? Well, yes, I want to come back as the Raja Shaja of the Taj Mahal and him come back as a banana slug. Okay, you do know that's not tangible. Okay. No wonder you got crazy bitches being lawyers, tearing up roommate agreements that are forgotten words and funds and ink stains that are tried upon some line that make no sense because it's all human invention trying to trump the essence of creation. Yeah, and why did that was a boner on your science. Why didn't the smartest mathematician and of all time explain that to him of his dysfunctional fucking pervert wheelchair? Man was an asshole. You didn't have to talk to him. They sent him to me to talk to. And I tried to be nice, and I was real nice. Guys, it's nice to explain to somebody that relativity, okay, mandates, okay, that if you have an immune system that is inefficient and breaks down, it comes from an eternity of accepted choices of molecular transfiguratory states of billion. Genome sense me this and genome sense me that. He already knew. He just didn't want to accept it. Because he's a fucking asshole. And he's always going to be a fucking asshole. And unless you stand up for the Lord's Prayer and stop signing pieces of paper that allow pervert scientists into your daughter's and your wife's bedroom, you can hope for nothing better than the Epstein files and Jeffrey Boatwright's bedroom all over America and Europa. This is Julie. Let's go meet the girls at the tavern, or was it a truck stop? I can't remember. What are you doing in Canada? Okay. Your green card's in your shoe. Okay, it's in your sock, man. It's in your sock. Your green card's in your sock, man. Okay. Kelso, just let go of the marijuana. Pull your hand out of the vase. Now drop the marijuana into the backpack or drop it out onto the table, pick it up and put it into your pocket. I'm pretty sure Red's not going to frisk you, checking you for oregano. Okay. Harbtide losing man. Okay. Y'all like the Planet of the fucking Apes, man. This time is different because we got you on camera. It wasn't me. We saw the marks on your shoulder. It wasn't me. I'll have this thing gross over your eyes. I really don't know. Okay. Girl, you're my angel. You're my darling. You stayed with me through my incarceration. Okay. Dummies. 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 They're going to come out for rap instead of colors and call it dummies. Dummies. Lummies. Let's go all in. Let's go all in on the Fred Sanford and the gorilla and the heathen jokes. Come on. Lummies. Lummies. Because your mama was a lush and your daddy was a dummy. Lummies. Lummies. Okay, this shit ain't really cool and it's not really funny. Lummies. Lummies. You say it sounds like nursery rhymes to do crimes for money. I don't know. I'm not the best rapper in the world. Rhyming is serious, but not when you have to pay bills and try to drink too much Nestle Quick, because it's ludicrous. State Farm, kiss my ass. Thank you. You're welcome. Still wearing khakis? Okay. All right. I'm good. You progressive? They're all progressive. Progressively going slowly insane. We've been at 10,000 years, man. Curse on the earth. You know, David. Okay. Sword. There you go. Okay. Hey. How many bolts are there in the Boston Gardens floor for the parquet? I like parquet floors. I don't think they're very... Well, I think most of them are collapsible and they take apart because they do a lot of different kind of, philanthropy. Never, ever, ever, okay? Put a basketball court on top of an ice skating rink, okay? If a building is specifically made for an ice skating rink, first of all, it should be like the pit and be countersunk, okay? And have better insulation so it doesn't have constant freon poisoning, okay? And it probably should not be in Florida, Carolina, Las Vegas, Phoenix. Make-A-Wish Foundation. I wish you guys would stop killing each other with philanthropy. I found your marbles. Okay, Peter Pan? You now a lawyer? Okay. Shit. God, they're crazy. I know they're crazy. Oh, Rufio. Do you think there's, a roofie? You think there's some kind of subliminal Hollywood casting couch message in that? Okay, you're putting Mike into PTHD and he's gonna kick your ass. He's a fireman. He's gonna fuck you up. You guys might want to live the Lord's Prayer. Now. Pickle your own beast, bitch. Holy jihad, Batman. That was cool. Thanks, Mike. He's a very shy kid. I like him. No, I was right to like him. He's very shy and he's been abused and he understands Patrick's mom. He understands Patrick. He understands Natalie and he understands Amy. There's just a lot of things that are pinned up inside that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to remember, and you wish you could just make go away. Like they put on dysfunctional shows about sexual assaults all the time on 2020 and Dateline, and they never stop making money off of it, holding food hostage and plastic off of it, and selling everybody boxes and call it affordable housing. Hey, Katrina, more hurricane food. There you go. And then let's sexually assault a girl in the Superdome and leave her in an ice machine. Her dead body? Yeah. Oh. Why haven't we made a movie about that? Instead, we have some kind of old, drugged out looking dude with his penis hanging in the window and Tiffany Haddish going, he don't look too bad for an old man. Right? She's a nut. That woman is crazy. Okay. Tiffany, when this is all done, I'll hook you up with Michael B. Jordan, and he'll actually be tolerable to have sex with because he won't be the little fashion model bitch he is today. Okay. I'm a man, yes I am, and I can't help but love you so. I look like Uncle Fester because you all act like, fucking Bloomingdale's and what's the name of that other place? There's Bloomingdale's and, I don't know, Neiman Marcus or, Tiffany's, that's it. Breakfast of fucking Tiffany's, motherfucking stuffing, loving, little pussy face, motherfucking sorry ass, bitch ass assholes. But the safety of our students is our number one priority. Then give them the Lord's Prayer. Because I caught you on camera. It was a Patriot Act. It wasn't me. I was the one they caught on camera performing the Gospels to get us all out of the boy rat bedroom and the Epstein files and your pervert little minds. Why do you want to see the Epstein files? Why do you want to know about the Epstein files? Just forgive debt and trespass, love one eternal faithful peace, and never have Epstein files again. Guys, trust me. These girls ain't... I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but she ain't running with no broke nigga. Okay? And who's pimp, daddy, Nashcast ass motherfucking riding around in a big plane trying not to get shot out of the air by a bunch of people that say they want to kill him because he mass murders people over petroleum products? Who's a pimp? Come on, Ice-T. Sell me some car shield, you little bitch. Okay. Come on, bitch. Grow the fuck up. Stop acting like a bitch. We don't have a problem with racism unless you've got Speed Racer on the brain and it's crack for kids. Remember when they said that? John Goodman still Pops Racer? Always in my mind. I see the cartoon character. But we could take the cartoon characters and make them look like real people that look like they really have health issues. because of overly active metabolism problems caused by toxic poisoning from toxic waste, and by inefficient metabolism, by tribal, secular, insular warfare that gives people inefficient amounts of what they need and make them live in harsh conditions because of vicious, violent, cannibalistic sex cult activities that should have disappeared from the islands a long time ago. But they haven't. They're still there. You guys are still philanthropists who put up artwork about having the best sexual exploits of the sexual exploiters in the history of dysfunctional sex life for lots of fuck money. Come on. I caught you on camera. I saw the marks saying still. We caught you on camera. We stayed until it was over. Till the bitter fucking Rothschild Rockefeller end. Okay, let's start a war and sell shitty guns to both sides. Call them the shitty Beatles. All right, all you. Okay, you got it? You got it? Do you understand? Okay. If you don't stand up for the Lord's Prayer, you're going to get sealed in hell with Stephen Hawking and John McCain, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan. Okay? Even Angela Davis is sealed in hell because she didn't stand up for the Lord's Prayer. Okay? Everybody sealed in hell till we accept the kingdom of heaven. And then people don't have to be tortured to death in hell. Okay? Peter, Paul, sealed in hell. Didn't get it. That cave in North Africa, he lived in hell and he died in hell. That's why he wrote Revelation saying, when will heaven come so people can be born in heaven and die in heaven, cradle to grave. And one day they died and they're saved. And who is to blame for this child of Christ? No, 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 no. Now hit Jimmy Rogers in the face because the Colonel wants that song for Elvis. It's the Memphis Mob. Yeah. Long distance information. Give me Memphis, Tennessee. Try to get the party. Who has tried to get in touch with me? Kate is now. Shit. Kate was born in 2007. Kate is now 19 years old. Try to put her through to me from Phoenix AZ. Now we don't have messenger. No one calls Grandpa asking for Dad because they think he's fucking crazy because they've been driven crazy by mad scientists in the military. Hey, Luke Air Force Base, Williams Air Force Base, couldn't ask for nicer people. They've got a airplane dropping bombs on people graveyard in Tucson. Everybody wants to go see that, right? This is what we use to mass murder people. This is during the World War I era. This is the World II. This is the Korean era. This is the Vietnam. See how we talked and put all these pictures of naked women and all these little notches on our pistols, number 1 and 19 more. To the town of our Freer, rode a stranger one fine day. Didn't spoken too much around him. Didn't have too much to say. He's here to do some business with his big iron on his hip. You can touch it. He's got blue chew and porcelain veneers, and so does she. Right? It's disgusting, right? It's Richard Dawkins explaining our history. And then we could never live the Lord's Prayer because none of us are good enough. And I understand what you guys are talking about. I have to have him be murdered as an innocent sacrifice to my sin. And when we finally do have heaven on earth, it's going to be the Spirit of Jesus through Earl and not me that does it. Because I believe the Vatican and their bank. And I want to know what's in the Epstein files. I do not. Okay. I don't want any woman getting up, shaking her money maker for someone with money, and Dorothy Dadridge having to have sex with Father Pimmager to pay her medical bills for her daughter that was conceived during having to try to survive economically in the Cotton Club with secondhand smoke and alcohol. And they didn't know. And you had to drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes just to survive your hell of a life performing sexually for mass murderers that would have sex with you whether your black husband wanted you to stop them from doing it or not, or they would threaten to kill him. Hey, Jack Johnson, do you understand what it's like? That's horrible. We know, Pharaoh. We know. Exodus, movement of Ja people. Let's go across the River Jordan to get away from these raping, murdering, Pimp Daddy Nash Negroes. that put their face on big rocks that the French come back and blow it off, because those kind of wounds, they take a long time to heal if we're not living the Lord's Prayer and living Psalms and Proverbs to sustain love instead of death, murder, kill, rape, medicate, sedate, repeat. Right? You incarcerated bags of shit. You institutionalizing bags of shit. Here's your fucking Rubik's Cube. Solve it. Ookla! Ariel! Ride! G.I. Joe was there. Cobra! So invent villains for the villains that invented the villains to all be heroes, or stand up for the Messiah and nobody has to be a villain and nobody has to be a hero. You can join me, okay? But like I said, if I end up doing this all by myself in this corridor of all these villains and heroes, and their number one priority is the safety of their students, then why aren't you living in the Lord's Prayer, you stupid little cunt face? Are you selling cars, selling insurance, doing plastic surgery for women to be fuckable so they can sell cars too? I want some sweetbread. Mo peladella don con con. No peladella don con con. Is he saying I'm doing Peloton and I'm a con? That's what it sounds like. No peladella don con con. Yo Peloton con. Yo Peloton. Yo Peloton. Is that girl's real body, or did she go to Dr. Gonzalez? Well, she's cute. If it's her real body, have her like, subscribe, and comment on my videos. I would like her brought to my room for sexual healing. And if it's Dr. Gonzalez, have her go fuck him. Carol. Why? Because beauty, we are what we do. It's not booty. Even though having a nice booty does help. It's fun. It's like, having a nice thing to look at. But guys, people will be more attractive and more physically desirable, like Joseph Smith talked about, when you're sharing, caring, giving, according to need, built to last, sustaining it with the faith of Psalms and the risen of problems, so people won't be on TV going, I wish I had the money to fix my fucked up teeth because of stress and toxins in the environment that fucked up my teeth. Okay? You haven't stood up for the Lord's Prayer. So like Stephen Hawking, you need to thank yourself for your body, your teeth, your attitude, your IQ, and your anger, your viciousness, your selfishness, your aggressiveness, your arrogance, your obnoxiousness, everything that you've done up to now, unless, of course, you're the Messiah looking like Uncle Fester after performing the apocalypse and everybody acting like it didn't happen so we could all have heroes to save us from villains. You don't have an excuse. I'm not making excuses. I'm telling you to fucking stop it because you're a sorry excuse of a human being for not stopping abusing me for being a good human being. I don't need an innocent person to pay for my sin. Okay? I'm not a sinner. Okay? When I realize something's wrong, I correct myself. Well, past, present, future operate at the same time. Jesus talks to me and I talk to him. Okay, Oral Roberts? Okay. Need $1 million? No, we don't. We're living the Lord's Prayer. Good answer. Titans to Eagles. Is that Anthony Roberts? Is that, what was his name again? He was one of my favorite sons. Alvin Scott, yeah. Skinny, overachieving, power forward, yeah. He wasn't quick enough to be a real good small forward. And he was skinny, but he played power forward. But he just made up for it with effort. He wasn't the most athletic, but he was just a really tough ball player. He played for about 5 or 6 years just because of the way he played. The team liked him. He did what needed to get done. A lot like Wally Walker and Bobby Gross. Yeah. There you go. It should never be confused with Dr. J or Scottie Pippen, but yeah, no, they made some money to pay their bills and have people tell them how great they were at paying bills by getting out there and just doing all the dirty work on the basketball court so their team could win. Like Jeff Koppman, playing power forward in New Mexico with a dad with definite fucking basketball coach from, it's creepy how much the coach from, and everybody knows it's true, creepy how much the coach from One-on-One reminds you of Whitey Kaufman and Jimmy Oliver. They were like best friends, and they were alike, and they were just like him. It's like, God damn, that's Whitey Kaufman and Jimmy Oliver. Yeah, It sure the fuck is. Hey, Beetle. Okay, guys, don't be a lawyer or a Visu. Be a man. Okay, I love you. All right, peace out. Law firms suck. You only have firm because you got blue chew and porcelain veneers and been to Gonzalez's office too many times. And don't forget Ariano. Yeah, the nurse ratchet with a penis of El Paso. I'm sure we got them here. They just don't advertise as much because they think they got more common sense than you do. Because they got everything on lockdown. They're all fucking geniuses in Las Cruces. Fucking assholes. They don't know. If they knew, they would stand up for a Lord's Prayer.